What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check
I'll
it
head
out.
to my
We are on our way to breaking the bank. We've now visited 20 star systems, and nice way to start the video. This is the Siren of the Stars. We're gonna dock here. This is a mission for the Crimson Fleet, technically, but we're also working with the Vanguard. Got into my personal space here. That's supposed to be like a cruise ship, basically. Digipacks. Steal those. Because I'm almost out of what I expected.
About time you showed up. All right, I want to know what's going on. I've been trying to get Delgado's attention for, I don't know, 3 years now. And what do I get? Nothing but radio silence. Then out of nowhere, just when Neva and I are closing in on a huge score of our own, Delgado orders me to help you out. Yeah, I figured you'd say something like that. Just another one of Delgado's loyal little soldiers, huh? Fine, have it your way. So Neva's message said you were here for Dombrowski. Was that all she sent you here to do? Or was there something else you were sent here to steal? Don't play games with me. We both know pinging a message back and forth to the key is going to take longer than we have to do this job. We're supposed to be working together on every part of this. So, you gonna tell me what else you're here for or not? Okay. So why are you targeting a GalBank exec anyway? Not exactly your average Crimson Fleet prey. Why the interest? Merchant vessels, transport, supply convoys, mining settlements, you get the picture. But taking on a megacorp, that's a really big deal. Something the Crimson Fleet stayed away from in the past. Sounds to me like Delgado's either getting desperate, or this is leading to an even bigger score down the road. Playing it safe for now. Okay. I can respect that. But let's make one thing clear. If I'm gonna stick my neck out by helping you get near Dombrowski, I want something in return.
Like him or not, he's the Siren's captain, so his assistance is going to be invaluable. Maybe we should hear what he has to say.
You're insulting my intelligence. Delgado wouldn't send you all the way out here without specifically telling you what you're allowed to offer. I'll tell you what, though. I'm gonna make this extremely inexpensive for you. In fact, you don't have to offer me a single credit. I don't want money. I want back into the Crimson Fleet. It's as simple as that. That's a disturbing way to put it. But I suppose that's the best offer I'm gonna get, so I'll take it. Dombrowski's a full-timer aboard the Siren of the Stars. Probably spends more time cruising the space lanes than actually working. Fortunately, the Siren is hosting the Tehran Preservation Society charity Gala. Larry won't be able to resist showing off his VIP clout. To get what you need, you're gonna have to attend the Gala, talk to his fellow philanthropists, and dig up some dirt.
Oh God. I'd rather hunt down Varun's zealots than mingle with those egotistical frauds.
Yeah, well, lucky for you, it's not black tie, so you'll be fine. This card will allow you to access the Starfield ballroom. If you need my help, I'll be relaxing in one of the upper-level lounges. Head inside and mingle with the crowd. No one likes Dombrowski, so they'll be more than happy to share his dirty secrets. Now you're speaking my language. Oh, there's one last thing. Trident equips all of their Starliners with the latest acoustic threat detection. Meaning that you lose patience and kill anyone aboard the ship, security will be alerted and all hell will break loose. Anyway, I suppose that's enough to get you started. Good luck. Oh, and while you're at the Gala, avoid the canapes. They're frozen, not fresh. Having fun, and I'll go do something useful, okay?
Alright, before I ask him that question, I want to save it because I don't want him to, like, overreact to it.
Any luck at the party? What the hell? When I asked you earlier, you said you weren't here for anything else. Not only did you lie to me, but now you're telling me that she sent you after the award alone? Yeah? And I suppose it's just a coincidence you happen to be asking me about the very thing Neva and I agreed to steal together. I can't believe she's trying to cut me out of this deal. Without me, the award never would have ended up here in the first place. She told you to hold that over my head, did she? Oh, that witch. Fine, I'll help. But you're doing all the legwork, and I'm still taking my cut of the payout. So tell me, what's the status of your plan? Okay, then let me point you to the person in charge of the award. Her name's Sheila Holbrook, and you can probably find her in the Starfield ballroom. I'd press her to reveal where the award's hidden, and we can go from there. And if you're thinking of pulling the trigger on poor Miss Holbrook, remember that any gunfire is gonna set off the ship's alarms. They claim their goal is to celebrate the soul of the Earth, the culture, the people, and the ideals of the past. In their minds, Earth is now dead, which is why they feel that preservation of its remaining aspects is so important. In reality, this is what happens when folks with far too much time and far too much money get together to make themselves feel like they're contributing to society. Get back to it.
Alright, well I guess I'm glad I asked about it because I don't know if I would have been able to do the mission otherwise.
You're a guest of Captain Rokov, right? Welcome aboard.
Alright, I don't care about 149 credits. We are gonna look for a magazine.
Can't hear the engines, can you?
I'm sure there's a magazine.
Trident must have spent a fortune equipping this ship with triple redundancy and almost every internal system.
These newer vessels more or less run autonomously, which doesn't leave much for the crew to do around here.
Captain Lokov said you're allowed in any of the crew-specific areas. Just don't touch anything, please.
Can't get to the cockpit.
This is one of Trident's top-of-the-line vessels. Hell of a ship.
I can't believe you just stole that.
Shut up.
Nothing but the finest at this gala.
Let's save. So that's not gonna work. Oh no. I already messed it up. Alright, we're gonna reload. I just can't afford the digipicks. Oh, it's a different one now.
Can you believe the size of this cabin? It's large enough to accommodate a family of 12. God, what a ridiculous waste of space.
Here. Oh, there's a safe here.
You've done that before.
This was barely worth breaking into that. Alright. Let's see what's in this safe over here. So far was a bust. Let's see. See anything worth anything in here otherwise?
On behalf of Trident Luxury Lines, I'd like to welcome you aboard.
Steal some kid's plushie. Oh. Hi.
Glad to have you aboard. I'm sorry. It's against Trident policy to discuss our personal feelings towards a fellow crewmate. I don't want to lose my job. Why should I tell you? No, I can't. I'm glad you understand the Maybe we can work something out. I mean, it might be okay. All right, but you didn't hear this from me. Do you understand? I don't want to lose my job. I like Captain Rokov, but I think he's mixed up with some very dangerous people. I was bringing some paperwork to his quarters one day, and I found a slate with a message he received from someone named Delgado. That would normally be fine, but the message mentions the Crimson Fleet, as in pirates. Can you believe it? If we want to grab it, the slate should still be in his quarters. Somewhere. Oh, absolutely. The safe is magnetically sealed and shielded with multiple layers of fully damage-resistant, vacuum-proof plating. In the unlikely event our vessel is boarded and the threat detection alarm is triggered, the safe will be permanently sealed until it reaches port. In the even more unlikely event this ship is destroyed, we can assure you that your loved ones will be able to recover your goods from the wreckage. So, as you can imagine, your property will be completely secure until you decide to retrieve them from our safe. An excellent question. My responsibilities include all of the Siren's financial, customs, and commercial goods transfers. Honestly, I really enjoy the work. I get to meet people at every port of call instead of being constantly stuck below decks. Have a safe journey.
So that is probably where the thing is.
With all the worthy causes in the settled systems, you'd think people wouldn't waste money on these pretentious luxuries.
Lovely party, isn't it?
We're gonna go in here.
Picked that easily since I traveled with Vladimir's soul.
Well, you know, it's like that. Dracula. There's like nothing useful. Credits. Oh, thank you.
You know what? On second thought, I don't want to know.
Alright, this is where we're hoping to find... She's sponsored by Chunks. She's upstairs, huh? See yourself in. It's as easy as breaking into their room. Oh my god. Thought she was in here. My friend Ruby. There's her safe. Wooden puzzle. Personal digiframe. I'll leave it. Alright, can't go on our computer. What? Are you for real? How do I get a digipix? Gosh dang
If you want to die, on behalf of myself and the entire team at Trident Luxury Lines, we wish to thank you for choosing to travel with us.
If you have any little ones aboard, story time with Serena will be held in the ship's library this evening.
At the moment, Aurora isn't permitted on Trident
I
Starliner.
need to find a digipix. Get back into her room. I mean, I don't know for sure that there's anything there, but I thought I had more.
I'm sorry, but unless you're reporting a security situation, I need to get back to my duties.
Is this important? I don't have a lot of time for idle nonsense. Yes, I'm extremely busy preparing for the award ceremony, so this better be important. Yes, I am. Actually, I've been entrusted with the transfer of the award for the last 7 of its 9 years. Why do you ask? In my cabin? Oh, please. Why would I do something so foolish? I'll have you know that the award is locked inside the master safe, located at the purser's office.
Just like I thought.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much more important things on my agenda than to speak to the likes of you.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
We have a range of excursions available at all of our destinations. All the details are in your cabin.
The society chair has really outdone herself this time.
I certainly hope they decide to hold all future society events aboard Starliner.
Quite a lovely Starliner. Nothing but the best for the society, eh?
Please remember to obey all posted safety and mustering instructions.
Dig up any dirt on the Broski yet? You seriously need to ask. Okay, I'll give you 2 reasons. First, GalBank protects their own. Kill Dombrowski, and they send Ecliptic after every Crimson Fleet ship they can find. Not something Delgado wants, I suspect. And second, you offer GalBank employee in every single GalBank facility in the settled systems will triple their security. I'm gonna guess that won't help with whatever your plans are regarding GalBank, now will it? As long as you remember that I'm getting paid my cut, I'll help you with anything you want. What's the status of your plan? Damn, that makes things more complicated. Okay, don't bother talking with the ship's bursar. Without a claim ID, you'll never get to the award. There's no way around it. You're gonna have to get the ID off of Sheila. Here, give her this. I'm certain it will help. And if you're thinking of pulling the trigger on poor Miss Holbrook, remember that any gunfire is gonna set off the ship's alarms. Don't you have somewhere to be?
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
I screw up. I'm absolutely safe scumming. I don't even care.
Hello. Must you continue these unwelcome Excuse me? And why in goodness name would I do something as foolish as that? Oh my goodness. How did you know about that? There's no need to make a scene. If you're here to steal the award, there's nothing I can really do about that, is there? Here, take it.
Please remain in designated passenger.
Well, that wasn't too hard. I'm not gonna lie though, I actually did not think that would be the issue. Like I thought that would have.
This must be where passengers store their valuables while the Siren is underway.
Alright, so that was not hard. All things considered.
Any complaints about your crews should be directed to one of the staff. I've done this particular cruise run several times, and I can assure you that the route is quite safe.
Have you tried the canopies? Horrid. Positively horrid.
And that's all.
The ship's purser can assist you with any matters regarding the security of your items.
So, what brings you aboard? Here for business or pleasure? Dombrowski is married to some poor woman that he constantly leaves behind in New Atlantis when he goes on his business trips. Enjoy the rest of the event.
If you have any... Due to an unfortunate accident, we're halting our spacewalk experience for an undetermined amount of time.
An open bar with... That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it? The considerable amounts of cash that Dombrowski donates are the only reason we allow him to attend society functions. Is this about that feature SSNN ran a few years ago? I can assure you, this is a legitimate charity organization. That's all then? Okay.
The society chair has really outdone herself this time.
An open... Let's put it this way. He screwed over so many people, if he suddenly disappeared from the universe, I don't think anyone would miss him. Don't forget to donate to the cause.
Quite a lovely start. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I don't know why Larry's attending this event. He could care less about any planet, let alone the Earth. Well, that was boring.
So, I certainly hope they just... Larry has an A-level executive rating over at GalBank, which means he has access to everyone's accounts at the touch of a button. Nice to have met you.
Hello. Have you tried the canapes? What? He's been spending a lot of time with Claudius Swist. Quality time, if you catch my meaning? I'm certain his wife doesn't know a thing about it.
Interesting.
Nice to have met you.
Here for business or pleasure?
Quite a lovely Starliner. He's been spending a lot of time with Claude. That's all then? Okay.
So, hello. He's been spending a lot of... Enjoy the rest of the event.
Well, let's just try one more.
I certainly hope they decide... He's been spending a lot of time.
Alright, yeah.
Don't forget to donate to the cause.
So,
pleased to make your acquaintance.
Don't forget to keep your Starview pass handy at all times, or you won't have
Have you
access
tried the
to ballroom.
canapé? He's been spending a lot of...
Okay.
Well, that was...
I need like a random digipack to show up. Or deck. Because I can't like break into her room anymore. Maybe I should. So maybe I should talk to Rokov or whatever.
Every day that I wake up in my bunk, I count my blessings to have been posted to a ship like the Siren of the stars.
I also have not seen. I didn't do a good job looking up there. So just gonna figure out
any specific requests, please speak to one of the crew's attendants.
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
An open bar would have been nice, but Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got.
The society chair really outdone herself this time.
In the event of a lockdown, remember to return to your cabin in a quiet and orderly fashion.
Here for business or pleasure? I certainly hope they decide to hold all future society events aboard Starliner.
Should I talk to him? No, I should not talk to him yet.
Here for business or pleasure?
I don't
Hello.
want to trigger anything.
Are you a member of the
before
society?
I've done my full investigation. Just picked up a lot of credits.
A Starview pass is required to enter the main vault. If you wish to have a drink at any of our lounges, be sure to present your cabin pass to have the cost.
Don't forget to keep your Starview pass handy at all times, or you won't have access
Cruise
to the
that I
vault.
went on. Not a good shot.
For the safety of everyone aboard, please be certain you don't interfere with any of the crew or security members of our vessel.
I'm sorry, but unless you're reporting a security situation, I need to get back to my duties.
Food is...
If you have any needs, please enter a request into the computer located at the entryway to your cabin.
There is nothing quite like the view from the Starview Ballroom. It's breathtaking.
Captain Rokov is one of the most easygoing CEOs I've ever worked under. In fact, he doesn't act much like a captain at all.
Between you and me, the best part of my job is getting
Captain Rokov said you're allowed in any of the crew-specific areas. Just don't touch anything, please.
I need to know where Rokov's
There's nothing quite like the view from the Starview Ballroom. It's breathtaking.
Wait, is this Rokov's quarter right here? Tablet. Damn it. This feels like it's his. Oh, that's what we wanted. Beautiful. Alright, so this is his quarters. We got the tablet we wanted. We just need a digipick. I need 3 more digipicks.
You're a guest of Captain Rokov, right? Welcome aboard. Shh. Listen.
Trident must have spent a fortune equipping this ship with triple redundancy.
Our vessels more or less run autonomously, which doesn't leave much for the crew to do around here.
Damn it. They need to play games with my heart.
This is one of Trident's top-of-the-line vessels. Hell of a ship, isn't it? Every day that I wake up in my bunk, I count my blessings.
Alright, this is where we started.
Between you and me, the best part of my job is getting a crack at all the leftovers from the dining area buffets.
Captain Rokov is one of the most easygoing COs I've ever worked under. In fact, he doesn't act much like a captain.
Shh. Listen. Can't hear the engines, can you?
If you have any specific requests, please speak to one of the...
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Don't you have somewhere
A Starview pass is required to enter the main ballroom.
Quite a lovely Starliner. Nothing but the best.
Please.
If you, at the moment, Aurora isn't permitted on Trident Starliners, though we're working on that.
Sorry, do I know you? Okay, wait, are you seriously... are you trying to pick me up? Look, I appreciate the compliment, but I'm already seeing someone, and my partner doesn't like competition. He gets very jealous. His wife? Oh, for the love of God. I told Larry to keep his big mouth shut, but did he listen? No. He had to impress his friends and treat me like a trophy. Look, I've been in this business for a long time, and I know how this game works, so let's skip all the banter and get it over with. What's it gonna take to make us both happy? You're willing to pay me to give you dirt on Larry? Sorry, I thought I'd end up on the short end of the deal. You know, this whole thing really pisses me off. Larry and I had the perfect scheme worth thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet.
If you're angry at anybody, it should be yourself for getting mixed up in this ridiculous scheme in the first place.
Judge me all you want, lady. At this point, if I'm going down, then all I'm focused on is dragging Larry down with me. Yeah, I'm getting to that. Larry got together with myself and this other guy, Gabriel Vera. He's some bigwig over at UC Security. I doctored the transactions, Larry wiped them off the system, and Vera kept the legal pressure off of us. We were scamming GalBank for months. It was going well until I discovered Larry was cheating everyone by changing each transaction in his favor before deleting them. I wish I had some. Maybe you should try talking to Gabriel Vera. He should be around here somewhere. If he doesn't want to cooperate, just mention my name. That should grab his attention. Good luck. You're gonna need it. What do you think is going on? I'm using that gullible idiot to get what I want. If I have to squash him on my way to the top, then so be it. Let's get one thing straight. Larry Dombrowski's no saint. He deserves everything that's coming to him.
That was a bit insensitive, but my colleague's right. If you're manipulating him, doesn't that make you just as guilty?
Where the hell do you get off judging me? You don't know that asshole like I do, okay? Dombrowski is a piece of human garbage. He'd stab you in the back for table scraps, then stab you again to steal dessert. The plan's always been to milk the guy for everything he's worth, and then leave him in the dust. Not bad for a lowly GalBank worker drone, right? I wrote a computer algorithm that basically creates a randomized number of false ghost credits that mimic the crypto key of actual credits. Then the algorithm simply passes the ghost credits to whatever legit transfers that the bank transacts. The genuine credits enter a dummy account. The best part is that I also alter the crypto keys as the real cash flows into our accounts. By the time it lands in our pockets, the creds are clean. So, on paper, it appears that all of the bank's transactions are covered, when it's really just our ghosted dummy creds. Genius, right? What, are you writing a damn novel? Fine. Vera works for UC Security, so he kept a lookout on their commnet for any GalBank chatter. I guess you could call him our early warning system. And Dombrowski made sure that all of the crypto manipulation I was working on didn't turn up in GalBank's automatic audits. You need top clearance for that kind of access, so we had to cut him in, whether we liked it or not. I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
I've done this particular cruise run several times, and I can assure you that the route is quite safe. Any complaints about your cruise should be directed to one of the staff.
Have you tried the canapes? Horrid. Positively horrid.
An open bar would have been nice. Tried these gallons.
Hello. You here for the charity event? Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that attending these types of events tends to absolve one of their sins and cleanse their soul. But something tells me you're not really here to discuss the event. What did you really want to talk about? Dombrowski, he's the exec holding court over in the VIP area of the ballroom. Yeah, sorry, I work for UC Security, not GalBank. I don't really know him personally. Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk, maybe a touch crazy, or both. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong. So back off.
You're a liar and an absolute disgrace to the United Colonies.
Just in case you weren't aware, I am the authorities. Anything you try to report will boil down to your word against mine. And since I work for UC Security, who do you think people will believe? I told you to stay out of my way. I meant it.
So what brings you aboard?
I saw your little exchange with Vera. Keep that up, and I guarantee that imbecile's gonna demand that you be arrested. Which is why he's threatening you. That makes sense. We need hard evidence of their scheme. It's gonna be tricky. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera isolated so he'll spill everything he knows. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all passengers to clear the decks and report to their cabins for lockdown. I think the best chance we have will be to tamper with the life support sensors. Manipulate a few controls, and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a life support failure. And there you have your emergency.
Whatever it takes. He's talking about tampering with the only system keeping everyone on this ship alive.
Don't worry. It'll be as easy as it was mingling with the guests at the party. Just throw a few lousy switches and you're done. One more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I'll erase that gambling debt he owes me. I prefer you use that as a last resort, but hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm on the brink of rejoining the fleet, right? Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hot around here, and won't be long before Trident figures out you had help. There's access to the crew section that you can reach through the Starfield. Chief Sundin should be there, wasting time at his state. Once you're past Sundin, just look for the room marked Environmental Control. Everything you...
Oh, thank you to Fit for Life Gordon for subbing.
On the surface, he's an upstanding citizen of the United Colonies, pretty high up in UC security. Lots of clout with Mast. Underneath, he's a greedy piece of garbage. Given the chance, he'd backstab you for a cred stick and pin the murder on someone else. Come to think of it, if he wasn't such a petty tyrant, he'd probably thrive with the Crimson Fleet. All passengers are instructed to immediately report to their cabins. That way, we keep the halls clear and avoid a panic. Fortunately for us, all of the passenger cabin doors will automatically unlock. This is normally to ensure the crew can check cabins quickly and without interference. But in our case, it's like having an all-access pass. Remember, the moment you shut down that system, the entire ship goes into lockdown mode.
The Society chair has really outdone herself.
You're a guest of Captain Rokov, right? Welcome aboard.
There's some heavy security protecting this area, but judging from the fact that this is the life support control, it certainly makes sense.
This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rokov's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you?
Oh, sorry, that area is off limits. No exceptions. Oh, really? Well, tell you what. I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away? Feel free to look around, but don't mess with any of the controls.
Passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
But I know where I can find one.
Who the hell shut down the life support? Chief Sandin is going to be pissed.
It appears that we've definitely ruined the party. Everyone's gone.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared...
There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is just a minor malfunction or a drill. Our security team would appreciate
All
it. Please
passengers,
shelter your cabin.
may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
The Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm and proceed to your cabin.
This is where I couldn't.
This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin immediately.
passengers are being asked to return to their cabins at this time.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
I'm so mad at myself for not having more digipics.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me why you're here.
Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
You're working for Ikande's little anti-pirating outfit? So what? I have nothing to do with the Crimson Fleet. And even if I suddenly decided to stay loyal to the old UC, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over evidence? I don't know where you got that information from, but it lines up with all the troubles I've been having getting my cut from that asshole. That means my money's already gone, and Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'd love to see the bastard fry, but if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I could end up in jail. At least I walk away with something. All right, you have yourself a deal. Here. With this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it. Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly close to Dombrowski, I think she's suffered enough. On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends that can, well, let's just say, take care of the problem. That's if you leave him alive, of course. We'll just have to wait and see. You better tell Dombrowski to run, because if you don't kill him, I will.
Well, I don't want to kill him because we're on the ship where they said don't kill him. Yeah. Alright, now our first contact with Dumb guy.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort of negotiation. Au contraire, my misguided friend. There's a bargain that needs to be hammered out, and you will listen to the facts before we proceed. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud GalBank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. I see. That certainly places a damper on our negotiations. Perhaps I can hasten my diatribe to temper your violence-ridden contribution. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my GalBank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along?
Oh, do get on with this. There's only so long I can stand being in the presence of this pig.
Oh, it was actually a rather easy deduction to make. It's the only thing of significant value that I still have in my possession. Oh, it appears we've reached an accord. And may I say, it was a pleasure conversing with an intellectual equal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
That was not a very satisfying outcome.
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. I wish you hadn't blown away the gambling debt that Sandine owed me. But hey, you got the job done. I'm glad one of us did. I'm just hoping you'll put in a good word for me with Delgado. Otherwise, I've risked my career for nothing. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner? Ah, so he told you to keep it from me. I see. I wouldn't want you to risk your position with the fleet like I did, so I'll just leave it alone. Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Overreach. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call you from now on, so get used to it. Nonsense. If there's one universal constant you can depend on, it's that Yevgeny Rokov always makes good on his deeds. Always. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be aboard.
Alright, so... Why can't I? Alright, I think
of the Stars is now in emergency status.
You again? This better not be another shakedown.
That was the only room I wasn't in. Well, there's no magazines, which is crazy.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
I have things for you. Something you need? Fishing for a handout, eh?
You just said you had something for me.
Until later.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Sometimes I wonder why they tell me to go to certain places if I'm not gonna like. Because they have the option to do that.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yubi was looking for you.
scattered farms throughout the Freestar Collective. There are unconfirmed reports of farmers being targeted.
I feel... Can you imagine how many credits flow through this place? Figuratively, of course.
Hello. Welcome to the GalBank archives. May I see your credentials, please? Just one moment while I verify. Oh, yes, Mr. Dombrowski. Welcome, sir. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. Me? No. Look, this is my first day on the job. Just cut me some slack, okay? I can't afford to lose it. Got a wife and kids to feed. Everything checks out. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. There we go. Have a wonderful day.
You picked the wrong fight. Valuable?
Not expecting that.
We need to find a store with good watercolors.
I'd be lying if I told you I was comfortable setting foot on this station.
You want to kick back? Avoid the last...
Next time you see fog, tell him to lighten up.
Your buddy Rokov is aboard the Key. Told me everything that happened.
Yeah, he won't shut up about you. Keeps going on and on. Now I remember why we kicked his ass out the fleet. Yeah, that'd be a first.
All right, neighbor, you've made your point. Well, since you're vouching for Rokov, I guess we can give him another chance. All right, now that is out of the way, we can move on to the matter at hand, Kryx's legacy. Speaking of which, let me see that data you copied from the GalBank archives. Ah, so the GalBank transport went down over Bannock 4. Bannock. Why does that sound familiar? Neva?
Yeah, keep your panties on. I'm looking it up. And I got it. Bannock 4. Let's see. Damn it. Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. We can't even get a ship near the thing without frying every circuit aboard.
EM class? Impossible. There isn't a ship in operation that can navigate that type of interference.
Yeah, sure. We'll just wrap your ship in a ton of copper and launch you right in there. That ought to do the trick, right?
Both of you shut up and think for a second. I'm sure Kryx hit the same roadblock. All we need to do is figure out how he got around it.
This sounds like a goddamn waste of time to me.
That's the spirit, Rook. That is the essence of the Crimson Fleet that has been slipping away lately. Neva, the GalBank data says the transport had a CBR-27 transponder. Can we track that kind of thing? Pinpoint its exact location?
That transponder is military grade. We're talking ultra-bit encryption, constantly reshuffling frequencies. We don't have shit like that laying around. But before you get that pissy look on your face, I heard that the UC's been working on a ship signal decryption system called the ComSpike. We grab that little beauty, and we'll be able to track anything you want.
All right, here is the plan, so shut up and listen. Rook, I want you and Neva to put your heads together and get us that ComSpike. I don't care if it's mounted at the top of mast. I want it. In the meantime, I'm going to find out more about this EM-class gas giant problem. And I think I know just who to ask.
Give me a little time to crunch the numbers on the ComSpike with Jazz, and I'll point us in the right direction. I promise. You gonna write that in your diary, little girl?
All right, that is enough. We are in arm's reach of Kryx's legacy, and I don't have time to deal with this kind of bullshit. Now, both of you, get the hell out of here and get to work.
All right, let's get this over with. Follow me.
If you want to stay under the radar, I've got just the thing.
All right, let's get right to it. Did you get the Earth Savior? Well, well, look at that. You followed my directions, and now you're gonna end up with some credits in your pocket. Of course, it would have been more money if you hadn't blabbed about the damn thing to roll call. But that's on you. Anyway, here's your cash. Keep this up, and I might even start respecting you. All right, Fleet? We've all got work to do, so let's get to it.
Ship services? You need it? I've got it.
So, level 25. We're gonna do piloting on this one.
Word and we'll get underway.
Undock. Alright, so we're still way longer than I thought it would be.
So I heard there was a bit of excitement on the Siren of the Stars. Your handiwork, I assume? Yes, and I heard there were no casualties. Excellent work.
Except for the eclectic hit squad that you took down at the archives. You've taken care of that mess, by the way.
Speaking of which, I assume you copied the information from the GalBank's computers. Let me see what you got. So the legacy went down at Bannock 4. Bannock 4. Why does that sound familiar, Doft?
Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant, sir. There isn't a ship in the fleet that could safely get near that type of world. It sounds like you admire that lunatic. I think his gospel's gone straight to your head. Maybe we made a mistake choosing you for this assignment.
That's enough, Lieutenant. Even if Delgado has an immediate solution to the EM problem, there's still the matter of tracing the Legacy's transponder signal. They have information about the comm spike? Damn it.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that device, sir.
No, you shouldn't be familiar with it. It's a highly classified project. It's an advanced signal decryption and tracking device that the UC Navy's been working on for years. How the hell did the Crimson Fleet find out about that?
There must be an information leak somewhere, sir. It's the only thing that makes sense. I'll see what I can find out.
Fine. This is what we're going to do. You keep playing along and go after the comm spike. Lieutenant Doft and I will see what we can find out about Bannock 4. I don't see the point. The Crimson Fleet apparently has a pipeline of information. Any attempt to move the comm... Perfect. Just stick with the plan and we'll see.
This mission is going to require discretion. Well done. Let's see what you found. Tisk, tisk. Looks like Mr. Rokoff lied on his application to Trident Luxury Lines about having a clean record. No matter. Next time he jumps from the key, we'll have him picked up. That will be one less fleet captain for us to worry about. Anything else? Are you kidding me? Dombrowski was already making a six-figure salary, and yet he couldn't resist starting an embezzlement scheme. It makes me sick. It's gonna be an absolute pleasure to throw his butt in prison. Have any more? Okay, fine. I know there's more out there. Let me know if you need anything else.
I can't believe you ate those alien plants we picked up on the last mission.
Stop busting my grab drive. I only did that